Hi, I'm Amber from Influencer Updates on Instagram and TikTok, and today I'm filming a Q&A where I'm addressing about 70 or 80 questions that I haven't got to on my previous lives. So this one is not actually live. There is no comments and I will not be answering questions live, but I will be answering all of the ones that have been submitted in the anonymous box previously. So this is just like a bonus live, I guess. So the first question. All right, Kearns' Project Glow, influencers prey on the vulnerable, it's unethical. So yes, this has come up a lot over the time that I've been doing Q&As. So Sarah Kearns, she has a course, like an online course. I think it's a 6-week course where she charges a significant amount of money, maybe like $200 or $300. And she works through a lot of different things with women. So previously she wasn't marketing it as a weight loss course. She was marketing it as like sort of a life course kind of thing. And yeah, there was a lot of hate about it. People saying, you know, she's not got qualifications and things, but she did advertise that she's got all these different qualified professionals helping her with the course. And I noticed recently she started doing round 2 of the course. So I'm guessing from that round 1 was very successful. And I haven't heard any feedback on whether it was good or not, so can't really speak on that. But yeah, this one, she has been advertising it as a weight loss course a lot more. Like she's been showing her before and afters, and she's been saying that, you know, you could lose weight by doing this. So yeah, it's definitely a lot more focus on that. But as for preying on the vulnerable and it's unethical, I don't think that all online courses are unethical. Like, people are allowed to choose to do these courses. Like, if people say the same thing about Georgie Stevenson's courses, for example, or that she's like an MLM person selling courses. But I've done a few of her courses and I've actually really enjoyed them. I don't think I've been preyed on, if that makes sense. But yeah, think of that what you will with Sarah Kearns. The next question, Bloom Store, albums for $1.60 from China, selling for $75 plus postage. Good on them, making bank. So this one must be about Jessiika Wilson. So Jessiika Wilson, was it this week or maybe over the weekend, she released these photo albums, peel and stick albums, she calls them. I think that you must like peel back the page and then just stick the photo on or something. And they're selling for $75 plus postage on her Bloom Store website. And somebody put in the Outspoken Facebook group that they had found them on Alibaba for, this person saying $1.60. But I think that someone calculated by the time you add in, you know, like the shipping costs and the exchange rate and things, that they were going to cost her about $7 Australian, and then she's selling them for $75 plus postage. But I mean, she has to make a profit. Firstly, she's put a lot of time into this. Secondly, there would be like transaction costs. There's GST that you've got to pay in Australia. She's then got to ship the product to people. She has to market the product. She has to photograph the product. So it's not like it is a 90% mark or 900% markup, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, she also needs to allow room for a discount. Like, I'm guessing she'll do like 20% discount and things sometimes, but that is just how sales works. And if you want to pay $75 for a photo album, well, that is what you're paying for. You're paying probably for a $7 photo album that then has all those extra costs added onto it. Oh, next question is Jess Wilson again. Next question, Phoebe Thompson, is the wedding off? So this one's been coming through a few times as well, but I don't really follow Phoebe Thompson close enough. But somebody is saying that she was engaged recently and then all of a sudden she's deleted her fiance from all of her platforms and she's not talking about him anymore, so the wedding must be off. So this one is juicy if true. I'll need to look into that one a bit more. Next question, Ashy Bines calling out another brand for lack of payment after admitting not doing enough research on products that she advertises. Yes, so this one, Ashy Bines recently called out MosXDaily, or MosXDaily, I think it is. And that is owned by Brent from Maths, who was on a few seasons ago. And I noticed Tammy Hembrow was also promoting this one. And I did think it was weird because probably 18 months ago now, So Dramatic did call out Brent and the brand for all sorts of things, like people's orders were arriving broken in the packaging and people's orders weren't arriving at all. And yeah, Ashy Bines and Tammy Hembrow have both continued to work with this brand after So Dramatic called them out. But Ashy Bines is admitting that she didn't do enough research. She didn't Google the brands. That's probably why she didn't see that. She thought the website looked good and she liked the results that she was getting from the product. And I just thought it was, yeah, quite ironic that she's being duped, if that makes sense, I suppose, by the brand. She was saying that she did work for them and never was paid for it, but I'm wondering if she was ever declaring them as an ad. That I have to look into, because I find a lot of influencers don't declare ads ever or anymore. So yeah, it'd be interesting to know if she did declare it as an ad, because now she's very much declaring it as an ad, even though she wasn't paid. So I guess technically it's not an ad. I'm not sure. Next question. Tammy saying, should I have another baby the day her ex Matt had a baby is slightly weird. Also because she has so many issues with her husband. People shouldn't rely on a marriage on babies to fix their marriage. Yes, I've spoken about this one as well. So Matt Zakowski has made it very clear that he is most likely unable to conceive naturally. He said there's some procedure he could get that he might be able to get some sperm count from, but other than that, he's not sure if he can. And I did think it was very insensitive timing, given that her ex and the father of Posey had just had a baby with Annelyse, and yeah, that Matt Zakowski's podcast had just come out reminding everybody about his fertility issues. So yeah, I think it has to have been clickbait. She must have known what she was doing and was doing it for high engagement. Next question. Annelyse and Matt Poole noticed they must have got rid of her pugs before moving into new house, same as Kayla Boyd did with her black Frenchie Boss a few years ago. This honestly seems to be an ongoing thing with influencers, that they get dogs when they're puppies and they film a lot of content with the dogs and everything's all great, and then all of a sudden they rehome their dogs and don't talk about their dogs ever again. I don't know. I don't see this as a common thing in real life, so I don't know why influencers do it so much, unless they're getting the dog for engagement and then rehoming it when it's old or wheeze on things or whatever. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's really horrible. The Sabi and Tani Callan feud, I covered that in detail on Friday, so I won't go over that again. Same with the Ella and Dom friendship breakdown and the whole Ella announcing her pregnancy. Although Ella has in the last few days announced, well actually today, that she has a new solo podcast called The Ella Era. So yeah, that will be her new solo podcast. And Dom has one called Mad Woman, which is on a break at the moment due to her pregnancy. And they used to have one together called Sit With Us. Are there any influencers that you have unfollowed? If so, why? No, there's not, because the more dramatic they are, the more I want to follow them, if that makes sense. So yeah, whereas usually in real life, if you don't like somebody, I suppose you might unfollow them, but that makes me want to follow them more from my account. And I do not follow a few influencers, being Lucy Jackson and Victoria Devine. And that is because in the past they have blocked me. And now that they have unblocked me, I don't want to push it by then following them again, in case they then notice and then they're like, oh, better block her again, because I really don't want to be blocked by them. How long have Matt Poole and Annelyse been dating? I reckon before they got pregnant, it was less than a year. So I'd probably say 18 months at this point. So yeah, they did get pregnant very quickly in the relationship. And it was the same with Tammy. I believe they had only been dating a year when Tammy got pregnant with Posey. Does Sarah's Days still work with White Fox? I don't believe so. A few people have been messaging me stuff like this recently, saying that all of her activewear was on clearance from the website. And yeah, she hasn't been talking about them at all lately. Interestingly, she's been saying she's working on a secret passion project or something. I wonder if she's bringing out her own activewear. No, I don't think she would, because surely the deal with White Fox is very lucrative for her and a lot less work. Not sure, but I feel like it would be crazy to not work with them anymore, because every time she used to do collections with them, they would sell out. So yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Would Reece Hawkins have to pay child support for all 3 kids, even though he lives in Bali? I'm not sure how child support works. Like if the mum of your children is one of the richest women in Australia, do you still have to pay her child support? I'm not sure if that would affect things. And yeah, maybe living in Bali, it might affect things. Maybe the fact that he's self-employed might affect things. I'm not a professional at child support. I don't have any experience with it. Not sure how it works, but I don't imagine he would be paying child support to Tammy Hembrow, no. Thoughts on Indy Clinton's new hair company using wigs and hair extensions. So Indy Clinton has done she's now the face of Bouf Haircare, which launched this morning actually. I bought one of the launch deal things, so I'm excited to get that in the mail and see how that all goes. They do say it takes 90 days to get results, though, and you've got to use it twice a day. So I'm like, that's a very big commitment, but I just wanted to buy it anyway because it's fun. I do believe that Indy Clinton might be like an equity holder in this or something, because she is promoting it a lot more than what a normal ambassador would. But as for the question of using wigs and hair extensions in the campaign, I did listen to the brand and maybe Indy talk about why they did that. And it's meant to be just like a fun campaign of showing like big hair and that's the dream sort of thing. But yeah, I do find it a bit weird. I guess it's not really false advertising because it's very obvious that it's wigs and hair extensions. But then at the same time, like if they were to post pictures of normal people's hair that's like thinning out in these bits, like most people seems to be, it wouldn't be very aspirational, would it? So then you're not going to look at that campaign and be like, oh, that's what I want. So I don't know. I think that's just how advertising is, isn't it? It's very aspirational. A lot of brands these days are using, real people, real customers as their models. This brand, I guess, has chosen not to do that. Is Jaz Hand pregnant? Not that I know of. I haven't heard anything, but you never know. We'll see. There was a TikTok video that came out recently. Somebody was saying that they saw an influencer in the wild 2 months ago that was clearly pregnant, and the pregnancy hasn't been announced yet. So I don't know who that might be. And there were a lot of guesses that it was Ella Ding who recently announced her pregnancy, but she was saying, no, it's not Ella. It's somebody else who still hasn't announced. But watch this space on that one. I haven't heard anything. So yeah, we'll see. Some people say that Matt Zukowski is in Tammy's Snapchats. They can hear him in the background but can't see him. Do you know if that's true or not? Yes, that has been true in the past, but not recently. So I find that most of her Snapchat content does make its way over to Instagram, just a little bit of a delay. But yeah, he hasn't been in the background recently. He lives in Melbourne. She lives on the Gold Coast. Do you think ads for pregnancy announcements is just starting the content as soon as possible? It feels a bit yuck. Absolutely, it's starting the content as soon as possible. That is factual. But everybody seems very shocked by Ella doing this Clear Blue collaboration for her pregnancy announcement. But I've seen international celebrities and influencers do it plenty of times over the years. So to me, it wasn't a shock. But also I sort of think, well, if she can make the money announcing it, why wouldn't she? Like, that just makes sense to me. I don't know. I think she may as well do it. And as I said on my Friday Night Live, it's not like she's announcing it to her friends and family this way. She's announcing it to the public this way. So I think that's different. It'd be really weird to announce it to your mum with a paid partnership, if that makes sense. Okay, next question. Ali Kate, Georgie Stevenson's ex-PA, is so rude and condescending when she serves you at work. Couldn't believe it, as she seems so lovely, but she has mean girl energy. This one has come up a few times lately as well, but I don't really think I should be talking about her. Like, she's not an influencer. She is an ex-employee of an influencer, and this could have just been one experience. If I was working in a cafe, I've probably had bad days as well, and maybe I would come across as rude, and I think that's okay. Honestly, like, being rude, it's not the worst thing in the world when you're not a public figure, like, which she is not. So I'm going to give her some grace there. Do you think Selfish Supps isn't going as well as the Hembrows had hoped? I do think that personally. I mean, I just haven't seen a lot of hype about it. I've seen the girls continuing to promote it, but I'm not hearing of anyone that's bought it. I'm not seeing TikToks about it. Same with the Sarsky collection. I think she calls it Tammy's activewear brand. I looked on TikTok the other day to see if there were recent TikToks about it, and I couldn't find anything in 2025. So I just feel like maybe, their own brands aren't going as well as they hoped. But then Sarsky has just launched a whole new collection, which people are saying looks like a crop shop boutique collection from 2 years ago, which is owned by Rachel Dillon. But yeah, I don't think Selfish Supps would be going as well as they had hoped. I also got an email recently saying that it's now on sale for 20% off, I think it was, or 15 or something. So yeah, that's that one. This person has messaged saying that they saw an influencer walk out of Kingscliffe Woolies with a clear blue test. I wonder if that is for a clear blue announcement. Interesting. It's not Ella. I don't want to say who it is because this person clearly could be pregnant. But I wonder if that is a future clear blue test announcement. We'll see. That one, I suppose it would be an expected one. This person has got married recently, I would say. So yeah, that would be exciting for them. Are Laura Henshaw and Michelle Battersby's stories about feminism directed at each other? They seem to be referencing some people directly responding to each other. 100% they are. I think I spoke about this on Friday, but yeah, Michelle Battersby, she has, responded to Laura Henshaw's feminist podcast series that she's doing. So Laura Henshaw is responding to Chris Griffin's podcast where he was saying that women shouldn't work and that they should spend their days doing fulfilling things such as brushing Barbie dolls' hairs, collecting postcards and going on hot girl walks. And Laura has snapped back at him, or not snapped, but, responded to him saying, well, that is well and good, but what happens if you break up, or what happens if you die? Like, women need to be financially independent. And Michelle has responded saying, this is really unfair on stay-at-home mums who choose to stay at home and not earn an income and whatever. But the thing is, that is not what Laura's talking about. Laura's not talking about people who are choosing to be stay-at-home mums and not earn an income. She's talking about financial abuse, essentially, when one party, being the man, I guess, controls all the money in the relationship and just expects the woman to be happy for him every day and do what he says, kind of thing. And also, I find it really weird that Michelle Battersby, she's practically referring to herself as a stay-at-home mum, much in the way that Sarah's Day does it. But these women aren't stay-at-home mums. They're CEOs of huge companies. Like Michelle Battersby, I don't know if she's a CEO, but she has like very high roles. She was like really high up at Kick at one point, which is ironic because she's now firing back at Laura. She was high up at Bumble, I think it was, or Tinder, one of them. And she's now got a podcast on the Mamma Mia network. And she's not a stay-at-home mum in the typical sense that she's relying on a man financially. So yeah, I think she's kind of missed that point there from Laura. I don't think that's what Laura is referring to. Sorry, there's a lot of repeat questions. Are Rosalia Russian and Elliot Garneau still friends? I don't believe so. This one has come up a few times. I haven't seen them together in so long, and they used to be seen together a lot, but neither of them have spoken about it. But yeah, it does seem that this is an influencer friendship that has broken down, which is so common. Have you seen Bronte Isabel and how she got married and her vows renewed all in 1 year last year, and now she just confirmed divorce? No, I haven't seen that one. Okay, I'm going to have to look that one up. But yeah, that's obviously really sad. What else have we got here? Mitch Greer, just wondering if you know if they have had gender reconstruction surgery. I noticed their jawline is a lot more chiseled than it was a few years ago. No, I don't follow Mitch Greer closely. I'm not sure what they identify as at the moment or what surgeries they've had, but yeah, I'm not sure, sorry. You might have to ask them if they are open to speaking about that. Evelyn Alice also had a fallout/bad experience with Styled by Bloom, same as Olivia Molly Rogers. Why? So did Taylor Demere, or Taylor Broad as she's now known. So that's really interesting that, yeah, Paul Versace, who is Styled by Bloom, the stylist, he does seem to have these muses. So yeah, Olivia Molly Rogers, Evelyn Alice and Taylor Broad. And then all of a sudden they had these big falling outs and no one ever knows why. So that is honestly one of the internet's best kept secrets. Apart from Ashy Bines' fallouts, Paul Versace's fallouts. Next question. What happened between Yasmina and her bestie Maggie from Hanging for More podcast? Both unfollowed each other a while ago. Apart from Yas saying she's not continuing with the podcast anymore, don't think anything else has been addressed. Yeah, sorry, I'm not aware of this friendship fallout either, but honestly, I just don't know why. All these influencers seem to fall out all the time. Surely it must be like a jealousy thing. Something must happen and then there's jealousy involved because it's so common. I just don't know why. How long do you think until Ashy Bines and her new best friend Tiana have a falling out? Honestly, probably a few years. I find that Ashy Bines always has a new bestie, so it might be Gretty or Sammy or Kiara or Nat, and it always lasts maybe like 5 or 6 years, and then they seem to have a falling out. So I'd say still quite a few years left on those ones. Are there any updates on the Poison podcast? I heard Mickey left, which was sad because she brought the female motherly aspect to the pod. I hope she's okay. They did mention that she left due to online bullying that she's been receiving over the podcast, including death threats to her family. So absolutely horrible, honestly. But yeah, the podcast is still going. I believe it's on pause at the moment because there's not a lot of new things to bring to the pod. And then once the court case has progressed further, they're going to bring it back up to speed again. So yeah, I think that's the update with that one. What's the most outrageous thing someone has DM'd you about an influencer that ended up being true? Honestly, the most outrageous thing is when influencers message me telling me they're pregnant, before they've announced it publicly. So it just sort of comes up in different ways. Like Dominica Calacro, for example, she messaged me something before she'd announced, and she didn't explicitly say it, but I'm like, I think she's telling me that she's pregnant. And yeah, I was very excited, but I'm not going to announce that before she does. And then there were a few others. Someone else messaged me as well. Oh, Sarah's Day. She messaged me confirming that she was pregnant prior to announcing it publicly. And that's because I'd put out speculation that she was pregnant because she'd posted something. And then I screenshot it and posted it. And I was like, I think she's saying she's pregnant. And she's like, oh my gosh, I accidentally posted that. Can you please take it down? I am pregnant. I don't want to announce it yet. So I was like, okay, I'll take it down. But yeah, that's the most outrageous stuff to me. Just that they would trust me. I guess they're not really trusting me. But yeah, just that they would involve me in that information before it's gone public. Kira Daro, so that's Ashy Bines' ex-bestie, has been talking cryptic in some of her vlogs about the universe confirming her choices, etc. Any idea what that might mean? I would say it's to do with the fallout with Ashy Bines because she seems to talk cryptically about that a lot. And I'd say that things are going well for her maybe, and maybe she's saying that the universe is bringing good things to her since she separated her friendship from Ashy Bines. I'd say that's what she's referring to. I do believe she's just sold her house, which hopefully that is for good reasons and not for financial reasons post-friendship fallout with Ashy. I'm hoping it's good reasons and it's going to bring them a lot of good. But her grandpa recently died and she has been very sad about that, understandably. So that has thrown a bit of a spanner in the works for her. So yeah, I don't know. That's what I would say that is referring to, the Ashy Bines fallout, I mean. Next question. Surely Tammy Hembrow would have shared and contributed to her husband's fundraising. Interesting to see if he goes to Egypt next week because she said he was going. Yeah, true. I feel like it is weird that Tammy Hembrow didn't share Matt Zukowski's appearance on the Inherited podcast. She also, didn't share that he was raising money for youth homelessness by sleeping out at the MCG. She also didn't appear to donate money to that cause. I mean, maybe she did anonymously. I can't really confirm or deny that one. He clearly is not in Egypt with her. She got there, I think, yesterday, the 24th of May. Oh, that's 3 days ago. But yeah, he's clearly not there and he was meant to be going with her. They had shared that. Someone also pointed out to me that for their first Christmas, which must have been about 18 months ago now, he bought her a trip to Japan, or maybe she bought him that, and they were going to go there together or something. And someone was saying that they never actually went to Japan. So that's an interesting one as well. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, their relationship is very cryptic and interesting. There's so many layers to it. Next question. Do you believe what Mick Tester said about Emily Hembrow and her husband? So this was a few weeks ago now. Michaela Tester was saying, so Emily Hembrow's brother is currently in jail for domestic violence, or maybe he's now out on bail. I think he's actually out on bail. And Michaela was calling out the Hembrows, basically saying that they support their brother who's a domestic violence perpetrator, and they were denying that they support him. And then Michaela wrote something like, if I get murdered in my sleep tonight, the first people you need to investigate is Emily Hembrow and her husband if the rumours are true. So she didn't say what those rumours are, but she's implying that Emily and her husband are dodgy people, I suppose, and could potentially murder her in her sleep. And then she showed herself sleeping with like a knife next to her bed. So this is just absolutely crazy. Emily Hembrow has since come out and said that she had met with a lawyer. She didn't say it was about Michaela Tester, but I think it was very clear that it was. So she'd met with a lawyer and it was really good news. So Michaela hasn't spoken about Emily since then. So I'm guessing some sort of cease and desist might have been issued to Michaela. As for the rumours, I mean, okay, I think that the main rumour, the PG rumour, is that Emily's husband is a car salesman. And the other rumour is that that is a cover-up for some other sort of money-making situation. Let's just go with that. Oh, someone else here is asking about Bronte Isabel's marriage. So that's the one I mentioned before where they were saying she got married last year and had a vow renewal and now she's having a divorce. They're saying here that she's Ali Orton and Talia Scaines' manager. Okay, yeah, so we'll need to look into that one. Indy Clinton is not showing her kids on TikTok as much anymore and she's deleting people's comments that state this too, even when they're supportive of her decision. Honestly, fair enough. People don't need to be commenting about her kids. And I know that's like them commenting saying good job not showing your kids or whatever, but they don't need to be commenting that, I suppose. Maybe she's got the word kids banned from her comment section. It could be that, and it's automatically getting deleted. But yeah, she probably is just sick of hearing about it, honestly. That's what I would say. Which influencers do you think are using Ozempic? Well, there were rumours that Anna Poole was, because she had bruising on her stomach recently at Coachella, and obviously she lost a significant amount of weight post-breakup with Glenn, although that was probably 2 years ago now. No confirmation there, of course, but someone I do think is using it is Matilda from Stacks, her husband. So Dom, I think his name is. So if you look at his pictures, he has lost a significant amount of weight in the last year, I suppose. And somebody messaged me a screenshot one time. I didn't post this at the time, but Matilda from Stacks, she had an Ozempic pen in the background of one of her videos. And I thought, absolutely no way she would be using Ozempic. Like, she is a tiny, tiny person, like size 6 or 8. And that's why I didn't post it, because I'm like, I just don't think she would be using it. And if she is, that is very dangerous, I imagine. But yeah, I now think that it might have been her husband's Ozempic pen, and that would make sense with his dramatic weight loss over the last 18 months. So yeah, but honestly, if that's what him and his doctor think is best for him, I don't see why we should have a problem with it. Someone on TikTok came out this week and said they met Riley J and she was so mean. Do you get this often? No, I don't think so. Most people seem to have good experiences when they meet influencers. Of course, influencers would be on their best behavior when they're meeting people. But I mean, I've had a DM from her one time when I posted something about her brand or something. I don't know, there were rumors maybe about, her employee. She had an employee who was never shown on the social media, and people were saying it was due to like workplace bullying from the other two that are always on the social media, something like that. And I posted about it, and then she messaged me asking me to take it down. And I just was annoyed about that, because she'd never messaged me before. And I just think, this is just annoying when people message me, ask me to take stuff down. Like, I'm just talking about influencers who put all this stuff publicly anyway. And yeah, it just annoys me. But that's the only interaction I suppose I've ever had with her. Has no one noticed that Lily Brown is pregnant? Well, no one has noticed that, because I just don't think she is. As I mentioned, I think it was on Friday, that I recently saw in a chill video she was carrying heavy boxes, and I just don't think people around her would allow her to do that while pregnant, if she was pregnant. So yeah, I don't think she is. But she has made it very clear that she wants to have children with Jet. So yeah, it's not weird that people are speculating that one. Did you see that Chris Griffin from the Pocket Podcast invited Laura Henshaw onto his podcast? Would love to see this happen. I did see that, and Laura responded saying she just doesn't know what that would achieve. They clearly have different viewpoints, and there's no point trying to convince each other that the other one is right when they both feel the way they feel. And I thought that was a really mature response. Like, yeah, they just need to do their own podcasts, communicate their own views, and I thought that was probably for the best as well. How did Annelyse and Matt Poole meet? That I don't know. So she's a nurse, I believe, and he's an Ironman, or retired Ironman. Not sure about that. He also has multiple businesses, I believe, like alcohol businesses, spritzers or something. As for how they met, I don't know. Not sure. What else have we got here? What's going on with Bella Messina? On her podcast last week, she said she had something that only her subscribers knew. Then she said she's meeting ex-girlfriend was great, but now there's video of her crying after meeting her, and now there's supposed new boyfriend for her. Not exactly sure what that's asking, but yeah, I believe Bella Messina does have a new boyfriend that she doesn't post online. And Adrian has blocked her. She said that Adrian has blocked her. That's her ex-husband. So he has a new girlfriend. And yeah, I think that's the best, that he has blocked her, because he did previously post like a soft launch of his new girlfriend, and then she saw that along with everybody else on his social media, and then she was upset about it, which is totally fair. Like, this is the father of her children, and it's all public on social media, so I can see why she was really upset about that. But yeah, he has blocked her now. But yeah, maybe she's having trouble with the new boyfriend. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything with that one. Next question, Bonnie Baskerville. No hate, I think she's gorgeous, but has she had a boob job? I swear she just turned 18. Probably not. I think that like Sofa Dofa, for example, she always gets this question. I don't think she has either. Some people are just skinny with big boobs, and especially when they're 18, like they are going to look like people would want them to look if they were to get surgery. But yeah, I think it is possible that some young skinny girls have big boobs. Like that can be a thing. Why does Kayla Jade always cover her half arm sleeve tattoo? I don't know. I don't know why she does that. But yeah, if you look at all her photos, she like angles back like that so you can't see the tattoo, or she'll have like a top on, or she'll have her phone there so that you can't see it. But yeah, she does always cover her half arm sleeve tattoo. I believe she's in the process of having it removed. Somebody told me that. So maybe that's why she covers it. Maybe it was a thing she got a long time ago and doesn't like it anymore. I also thought maybe it's got something to do with her kids on the tattoo, and she doesn't want people to see that because it might be like their names or their pictures or something. But yeah, I don't know the actual answer to that one. Oh yeah, someone else here has written in about Phoebe Thompson potentially splitting with her fiance. I reckon that must be I Next question. Shani Grimman and Michael Finch have been quiet over the years. Why and how? I think why is they've lived so much of their life on social media, and now they both are enjoying the simple life a lot more. I know Michael does post a lot on TikTok of his cooking videos, but not necessarily about his personal life. And Shani Grimman, she basically just doesn't post at all. Like, she does have her Silk Swim brand, but she shows almost nothing about her brand, which is a really big mistake. Like, I feel like she's got such a big platform. She could be sharing so much behind the scenes stuff about her brand, like how Riley and Jaz do that. And she basically never shows her boyfriend, but yeah, they don't really show much of their personal life. And this person's saying also that they're certain Adrian cheated on Bella Messina by listening to her Truth or Drink podcast and the fact he has blocked her. I'm almost certain as well, from what she has implied over the years, I suppose. Anyone know what the television show Emmy Lou Loves is filming currently on the Sunshine Coast? Saw it on her Insta stories. Yes, that is a house show. So I think that they, show different houses. Someone was saying to me that it's ironic that she's hosting a house show when she rents a house. But I don't think that's ironic. I don't think renting means that she's any less qualified at showing people through houses for a TV show than someone who owns a show. Owns a house. But yeah, it is some sort of house show. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, I shared it to subs a few weeks ago when she announced that. Okay, what else have we got here? Eastern Suburbs mum has been quiet and stopped her podcast. What is going on? I don't know. I haven't heard anything there that might be the reason why she's gone quiet. Oh, and this is her friend. Maybe someone's put both of these questions in because this is Eastern Suburbs mum's friend regarding Cindy. That's her at. Why do influencers pretend they get all their dollars from influencing when she is clearly a sex worker and hides it? I don't know if that's true, but I think that they like to have two different careers, like how Anna Poole, she does her OnlyFans career and then she does her, she doesn't even influence, she just has like her public persona because she doesn't actually promote brands and things for money, but I'd still call her an influencer. So I'd say it's the same with regarding Cindy. She just has two different income streams, and yeah, fair enough that she doesn't want to promote the sex work stuff on her normal platform, if that is true. I don't know if it's true. Sorry, lots of repeat questions. Which influencer do you wish we saw more of? I think I did answer this one a few weeks ago, actually. I thought these were questions I hadn't answered. But yeah, I was just saying basically any influencer that doesn't talk to their stories. So someone recently told me they really enjoy following Cass Wood, who is an ex-Bachelor girl. Like, she was one of the contestants, I suppose you'd call it. And I was like, okay, I'll give her a follow and see, like, follow along, see what she's up to. And I've just found her so boring. She literally never speaks to the camera. She does have a podcast, which I haven't listened to, but she needs to get on her stories each day and talk to her audience, involve them. Same with Samantha Rayner. She never ever talks to her audience. She's got a lot of followers and I feel like she could be a really popular big influencer. She is now in a new relationship. The man appears to be 40 with 2 children and she is 27. He also appears to have a lot of money, which all of her boyfriends tend to have a lot of money. But yeah, I really wish she'd get on and talk to us. Same with Tasha Whitmore. She's another one that's I'm interested in, but I just never hear her talk. And of course, Shani Grimman. I'd really like her to make a comeback and come and talk to us more. Who is the highest paid influencer? Well, I would automatically assume Tammy Hembrow. I imagine like Kayla Messina should be pretty high up there as well, like the ones with the huge followers. But then, who else would be up there? I'm trying to think who would, I mean, they're probably the highest pay, but as for bang for your buck, I honestly think smaller ones would be more influential. Like Bella Messina, I feel like she is huge recently. I know she hasn't got necessarily a lot of followers. Like I think she might be in the 100,000 or even a bit less, but I feel like she would have a really good conversion rate. Like her followers really resonate with her and really enjoy following her and trust her. And I feel like she would convert to sales higher than someone like Tammy Hembrow would. What else have we got here? Lots of Tammy and Matt questions, but I feel like I've addressed most of the things. It's a bit weird that Olivia Molly Rogers follows her ex-husband's baby mama on Insta. Are they friends? Okay, I didn't know that she did. So Olivia Molly Rogers must follow Tani. She's also an ex-Bachelor person, I think. And she is, the girlfriend of Olivia's ex-husband. As for why she follows her, I do find that a bit weird as well, especially given that Olivia and her husband didn't tend to break up on good terms. But maybe it's not one of those things that she's followed her for a long time and didn't know that she's still following her. I'd say it's probably that. They've probably crossed paths at some point. Did Rani Bransby ever share a reason for getting kicked out of her rental with 7 days notice? No, I didn't know she did, but I notice influencers talk about this a lot. Like Bella Messina had this incident happen at one point where she had to be out within a few weeks, and I don't know why it happens to influencers so much. Or maybe it happens a lot to people who are renting and it's just that I don't hear about it because they're not on social media. But I don't know the reason for that one, sorry. Next one. What's happening with Sophie Guidolin? She goes on an overseas holiday, comes back and says there's no damage to her house. And now she says the whole thing has to be rebuilt and that she is homeless because she has been fighting the insurer for 6 weeks. The dates don't add up. Well, I mean, she could have come back to the house and it appeared that everything was fine and then the mold has developed over time. That is possible. I noticed there was also another question sent in that Sophie Guidolin was claiming she disposed of $800,000 worth of house contents due to the mold issues that she's having post-cyclone. They're also saying we've seen her house, that dollar figure is clearly a lie. I don't think Sophie Guidolin is the smartest person when it comes to numbers, I've noticed. She sort of throws numbers out left, right and centre that don't always add up. So I don't think she would have $800,000 worth of contents that she had to throw away unless she had like grand pianos and vintage items in her house, which she doesn't appear to have on social media. But I imagine she has thrown out a lot of money worth of stuff. She did have to completely throw out everything in her girls, like the twin girls, in their bedroom and gut it all. I think she's even gutted the walls. So I imagine it would be a lot of damage, but surely not $800,000 worth. I'm nearly through all the questions. What's the go with Ashy Bines always in matching outfits with the newest BFF? Plain weird. I don't know personally. Ashy Bines has always done this with her besties. It must just be something that they think is cute and fun. Personally, I don't do that with my friends. I'm the same age as Ashy, but I don't know. They seem to find it really fun. Okay, what else? Do you ever get any info on Tasha Whitmore and Samantha Rayner? That's interesting. I was just talking about them. No, not really, because they don't really give us anything. There was a TikTok video on the White Fox channel recently where the two of them were speaking to the camera, and I was just a bit like shocked by that because I never see that. But also Tasha Whitmore has been sharing recently. She had a proposal party where she proposed to her bridesmaid. She gifted them Cartier by the looks of it. I don't know what was in there, but that looked pretty extravagant. And then she got a lot of hate of people saying she's chosen the wrong bridesmaids. Like, why didn't you choose X, Y, or Z influencer as your bridesmaids? And she had to come out and say, just because these people I've chosen aren't influencers doesn't mean that they're not my best friends that I've had for years. So sorry if that's really distracting people. I've just noticed it. But that is what I've heard about Tasha recently. Oh, also someone's written here, next question, so it must be the same person. Tasha Whitmore legit is the unhappiest since she's been engaged. I wouldn't know because I don't know anything about Tasha. That's the problem. Okay, yep, that's another repeat question, another repeat question, another repeat question, and that is the end. So 40 minutes of questions. I'm up to date with all the anonymous submissions. Thank you to everybody who does submit anonymous questions. It's really fun and they're a lot more juicy than when I put up a normal Q&A box. So if you're still watching, thank you. And I'm going to the So Dramatic dinner listener party tomorrow night, and I'm very excited for that. That is in Port Melbourne. Hopefully some of you will be there. Apparently there's going to be some maths contestants there as well, and we'll get to meet Megan, and she's going to talk, and she's going to do a live Q&A. So there are tickets. I don't know if they're still available at this point, but yeah, I'm really excited for that. So I will fill everyone in on that next time. Thank you. Bye.